Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next game in the 1987 American League replay. We are in Detroit, Motor City, for the opening of this series between the Seattle Mariners and the Detroit Tigers. Starting pitchers for today's game, Mike Moore for Seattle and Jack Morris for the Tigers. Seattle enters the game 9-17. Detroit enters 11-13. And just a brief little scrubbing here of the standings as of today. This is counting the game that Milwaukee lost today. Oh, the Brewers game was not a good game to watch, man. it was ugly. The last two games, if you count the Boston Oakland game last night and the game from this morning, each game had 10-run innings in it. So position players were pitching. So it was not pretty. I'm hoping to get a better game today, but that's where we see it. Seattle's in dead last, 9-17. Detroit is 11-13. If they get a win, they'll be 12-13 and be 6 games back of the Brewers and the Yankees, who are tied. Look at the ballpark effects for Detroit. Singles, not very good. 1-2 for lefties, just 1 for righties, but the home runs is where it shines. 1-14 for lefties, 1-11 for righties. This is the second game played on May the 5th. And actually the third game played on May the 5th. Game 172 overall. Jack Morris enters with 2-3 record. Mike Moore 2-2. The only thing I didn't factor in was Morris's hold rating, which is now a +3 because he's a +2 and Noakes, the catcher, is a +1, so it makes it a +3 for the pitcher-catcher interface. Morris, a high wild pitch rating at 18, balk of 2. Moore has a balk and wild pitch of 3 apiece. There are your starting lineups for each team. Yes, Spike Owen pitched the final inning in that game last night. And I won't spoil it for anybody that wants to watch it, but a position player did pitch this afternoon in the Milwaukee, California game. All right, so let's get the game up on the Strat computer so I can get the full stats for you. Jack Morris, 2-3 with a 4.30 earned run average, 38 innings pitched, 30 hits, 11 walks, and 31 strikeouts. He has given up 10 long balls in just 38 innings. So that's where his bugaboo is giving up the long ball. But he's going to finish up the warm-up tosses. Maybe he can get a break here against last place Seattle. We shall see. John Moses, the leadoff man, not very good, hitting a .92, 1 homer and 7 driven in. And we're underway from Tiger Stadium. Of course, this is back-to-back Tigers because the Tigers just played in RJL's Inside Pitch 1983 World Series. So 4-6, and Morris against the lefty will strike him out. So Jack Morris off to a good start. Puts the K on John Moses. 1 down for Phil Bradley. Bradley on the replay. Hitting .204, 3 homers, 9 driven in. That's a 6-8, and that's going to be a walk. So first walk issued. And Phil Bradley will be looking to get the lead. It's a +3 for Jack Morris, so if he can get that lead, it's basically almost guaranteed to steal. He needs a 2 through 5 to grab the lead. He's got 3 steals on the season already. Does not get the lead, so he will hold on right where he is. And that'll bring up the other Bradley, Scott Bradley, the catcher. This Bradley hitting .250, no homers, 8 driven in. It's a 1-4. Ballpark single check, but not good. 1-2. That's a 4. So be a pop up to short. And there's 2 away. And for anybody that's familiar with what I do for failed ballpark checks, if the failed result is an out, then I stick with this out. As long as it doesn't affect the outcome of the game, I will stick with this out. Normally you would do a line out to second with a lefty up there, and I would do that if it said single here. I would change it to a line up to second, but since it's an original out, it doesn't affect the outcome of the game. I'm going to keep the pop up to short just to try to add some variety, although shortstop gets a lot of outs to them as well. All right, here's Ken Phelps, the designated hitter. He's hitting 274, 6 homers, 16 driven in, and nothing going on there. Here is Phelps. That's a 3-6 for Phelps. Struck him out. Second strikeout for Morris. And he takes care of the Mariners here in the first inning. Just a walk, nothing else. We go to the bottom of the first. It is Seattle nothing, and the Tigers coming to bat. And the big news for the Tigers is Kirk Gibson will be playing his first game of the season. The Tigers have sent down backup catcher Orlando Mercado to make room for Kirk Gibson, and he is going to hit third in the lineup and play left field. His first game since coming off the injured list. So the Tigers are definitely happy to have him. No question about it. Hello, Colin. Hello, Larry. Hello, Chuck. Good to see you. I knew you'd be here, Chuck, for the Tigers. Hardwood, good to see you. And Ernest, if I missed you. So good to see all you folks here. Let's get the numbers on Mike Moore. He is 2-2 with a 254 earned run average, 39 innings pitched, 33 hits, 12 walks, and 19 strikeouts. Pat Sheridan will lead off. He's struggling at 218, 2 homers, 6 driven in. That's a 5-5 left-handed, and that's a line out right to the shortstop, Quinones. And there's one away. Hit it hard, but right at him. It was an atom ball. Here's sweet Lou Whitaker, and Whitaker is hitting 274, 5 homers, 17 driven in. 4-9, and that is a single to center field for Lou Whitaker. See if he can get the lead. Try to get some sort of a steal going for it and try to get something going for the Tigers. We shall see. Whitaker has 13 stolen bases on the season in real world. He's got 1 so far. Not a big stolen base guy, but if you give him a jump, he'll take it. So he needs a 4 or a 5 to get the lead. He does not get the lead, so we'll stand pat. And now, standing ovation from the Tiger crowd for Kirk Gibson, his first game of the season. And Gibson, see what he can do here against Mike Moore. It's a 5-4, and that's a ground ball third base X. That's the hound dog Jim Presley. He's a 2E24. 2 and a 13, possible double play. See if he can turn it, if that's a G1 or not. 2 and a 13 is a G1, possible double play. The hound dog is an E24. He's got to avoid 9, 12, 3, 15, and 18. Of course, we have to have the virgin tray. We're not going to roll with other debris in the tray like some channels do. It has to be clean. 12, E24 and a 12. And there's a 12 right there. The hound dog just booted it. Clean tray or no, he boots it. E24 and a 12. That's a 1 base error on the hound dog. And instead of a double play, they get nothing like it. E5. Hound dog tried to hurry it and just never got a hold of the ball. So doesn't even get 1 out, much less 2. And not a good play there. Mike Moore not too happy about it. That'll bring up Trammell with first and second and 1 out. Trammell hitting 429, but he doesn't have enough at-bats to lead the league in hitting and qualify. He's only got 56 at-bats, but he is hitting 429, 4 homers, and 12 driven in. Moore to Trammell. 2-5, and that's a walk, and that's going to load the bases. So now Mike Moore coming a little bit unraveled. That error kind of shook him up, but now the bases are loaded for Matt Noakes. And Matt Noakes has 8 home runs on the season with 20 runs batted in, only hitting 205, but he can certainly put one out of here and put the Tigers up 4-0 in a hurry if you're not careful. 1 chance for a wild pitch. Mike Moore's wild pitch rating is a 3. And it's a 2, so he's going to wild pitch in a run. The devil die comes up low again, and he will wild pitch in a run. It also takes the double play out of the equation. So a big wild pitch there from Mike Moore as Scott Bradley unable to corral it. And now the infield's going to come in. They know that runs against Jack Morris might be at a premium. That's another one for another possible wild pitch. This time, no wild pitch. Infield is in. 5-9, and 5-9 to pop up to first base. That was a big out right there. Pop up to first base for out number 2 as Alvin Davis puts it away. Moore with a chance to get out of it just with 1 run. If he gets Darrell Evans, the designated hitter. Evans hitting .233, 6 homers, 14 driven in. Second and third, 2 outs. That's a 1-7, and that's a walk. Not the worst thing in the world because Evans is a pretty good hitter. First base was open. Now the bases are loaded for Dave Bergman. Bergman, in 41 at-bats, is hitting .244, no homers, 5 driven in. This is a clutch situation. And in the clutch, Bergman loses 2 hits on a 2.9 and a 2.10, and also a 3.11. He is definitely anti-clutch. So perhaps walking Evans wasn't the worst thing in the world. 3-6, and that's a fly to center to end the inning, so they leave them loaded. Could come back to bite the Tigers. They put 7 guys to the plate, but on 1 score. And at the end of 1, it's 1-0 Tigers, but they got to feel like they left something out there on the base paths and didn't cash in as they would have preferred. So Jack Morris back out with a 1-0 lead. Hello, D. Scott. Good to see you. The Hound Dog, who made that error that created that run in the first place, and that is an unearned run, as it turns out, because the pop out to first would have been the 3rd out. So it is an unearned run. So here's Presley trying to make up for it, but he's struggling. 153 average, 2 homers, 11 driven in. That's a 4.11. And for Jack Morris, that's a fly ball right field X, and that is Sheridan. He's a 2E9. 2 with an E9, 2 and a 1. Boy, the double die is just horrible. Did it to me again. I'm going to switch out D20s, I think. So 2 and a 1 is going to be a double. So that's a double for the Hound Dog. And now we're looking at Sheridan E9. He's got to avoid 11, 16, 3, and 18. And that's 12. Barely does, but it will be a double. Leadoff double for the Hound Dog. And Sheridan unable to get to that. Jack Morris kind of thinking he should have had it. But that's the way it goes. Here's Alvin Davis, first baseman. Davis on the replay. Hitting .292. 3 homers, 9 driven in. 2-9. And it's a ground ball. Pitcher A. That'll freeze the runner. Won't be able to go anywhere. He will have to stay right where he is as Morris looks him back. 1 away. And that'll bring up Mike Kingery. Kingery hitting .286. 4 homers, 12 driven in. Presley, of course, not being held at second base. That's a 6-7, left-handed. That's a 1-5 double. Anything else he flies to right, that's a 9. He got a break. It's a fly to right for out number 2. 2 down, and that'll send up Ray Quinones, shortstop. Quinones on the replay hitting .209, no homers, 9 driven in. 6-5 to the right-hander, and that's a 1-7 triple. Anything else is a single. That's a 6. It'll be a triple for Ray Quinones. RBI triple, and we got a tie game. Ray Quinones blasts a 2-out triple to score Presley. And the shoddy defense from Sheridan to start the inning comes back to cost the Tigers a run. We are tied at a run apiece. And here comes Harold Reynolds, fresh off the set of Baseball Tonight. See if he can take the skills he learned on that show to hit. On the replay is hitting .253. No homers, 3 driven in. 212, and he's going to, well, he's in a clutch situation, and he just failed. 212 would have been a single, but he's in a clutch situation, and that Omega takes that clutch out and turns it into a pop out to second to end the inning. So Harold Reynolds just apparently didn't learn his lessons. Needs to go back and rewatch the show to figure stuff out because he couldn't get it done. We go to the bottom of the second, still tied. Now the score's tied at 1. Billy Bean will lead things off, center fielder. Not sure why Chet Lemon's not playing. He is on the roster. He just give him the night off, I guess. Billy Bean, though, on the replay is hitting .357 and just 28 at bats. No homers, 5 driven in. And the white die got stuck in there. There we go. 5-6, left-handed, and that's a fly to right field. And Billy Bean is out of there. One down. For the number 9 man, Tom Brookins, longtime Tiger veteran. Tom Brookins. Brookins will step up, and Brookins on the replay has done quite well. He filled in for Trammell when he was hurt. Did quite well for himself. He's hitting .263. He only hit .241 in real world. He's hitting .263 on the replay. A homer and 4 driven in. 2-9, and that's a single. So base hit for Tom Brookins. 1 out single. We'll flip the order over. Brookins now with a chance to go, although Moore is a -2. I think Sparky wants to be aggressive here. He's going to try to get the lead, 6 through 7. Does not get the lead, so it's a moot point. And here is Pat Sheridan. Sheridan lined out to Quinones first time up. 2-7. Struck him out. That's actually the first strikeout for Matt Moore. And Pat Sheridan is out of there for out number 2. And Whitaker now with a chance. Try to get something done. Singled his first time and scored the only run for the Tigers. See what we can do here second time around. 2-3, and that's a 1-8 home run, and that's a 7, I think. Looks to me like it's a 7, and that is gone. 2-3, 1-8 home run, that's a 7. So that is gone. Lou Whitaker goes deep. Home run number 6 for Whitaker. RBIs number 18 and 19. And the Tigers take a 3-1 lead on the home run from Sweet Lou Whitaker. Brings up Kirk Gibson. He reached on the error by Presley, first time up. .311, and he's hit by the pitch. Boy, he comes the first game and he gets hit by the pitch. Right after a home run, and now the umpires have issued a warning to both benches, and next hit by pitch is an automatic ejection. When we have a hit by pitch after a home run, that's too much chance for that to be intentional. So they're going to nip that in the bud, as Barney Fife would say. And the warnings have been issued. Here's Trammell. That's a 4-8, and that's a 4-8 is a strikeout to end the inning. But the 2-run homer from Lou Whitaker gives the Tigers a 3-1 lead after 2. Trying to get my voice back, still nasally. At least the sneezing has gone away and the runny nose has reduced immensely, not like it was yesterday. So hopefully by the weekend, maybe I'll be back closer to normal. John Moses struck out his first time up. Will he do it again? 5-9. He will. 5-9. He strikes out again. Jack Morris, strikeout number 3. Give Morris a lead. He's like a bulldog out there. Here's Phil Bradley. Drew a base on balls his first time up. 5-2, and that's a fly to left field. Hauled in by Gibson. His first put out of the season in left field. Going to play right field most of the year, but starting out in left field. 2 down for Scott Bradley. 3-5 for Bradley. He's going to ground it to first. Bergman will just take it to the bag himself. It's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Jack Morris. And we go to the bottom of the third, still 3-1 Tigers. And Tabby is very happy about that. Matt Noakes will lead things off against Mike Moore. Noakes, his first time up, popped to first. That's a 5-7 against the left-hander. That's a solid single for Matt Noakes. So Noakes gets in the hit parade. He's not going to go anywhere, not going to be held. Here's Darrell Evans. It's a 5-5, and that's a line out to short. Snagged by Quinones, one down. And that'll take it over to Bergman. Bergman flew to center with the bases loaded his first time up. Not much of a hitter, but a very good defender. 4-10. Catcher X, that's going to be Bradley. He's a 4. That's not very good. 4 to E9. 4 to 7. Probably some sort of a wild pitch pass ball check. 4 and a 7 is a P/P. P/P, and the error rating is a E9. So we got to roll for that. 3, 13, and 18. And none of that. So it's just a P/P with a runner on first. P/P. Now we're going to be using the wild pitch rating of the pitcher to determine if there's going to be a pass ball or not. If there's not a pass ball, it's going to be a pop out to the catcher. So the wild pitch rating on Mike Moore is a 3. It is no wild pitch. It's going to be a pop up to the catcher. And that's 2 down. So 2 away for Billy Bean. Bean flew to right his first chance. That's a 2-5, and he will ground it to second. Reynolds will actually flip it to Quinones at short for the fielder's choice to end the inning. So 3 innings are in the books. It's Tigers 3 and Mariners 1. And due up, it will be Ken Phelps, the designated hitter. Phelps struck out his first time up. He's been known to do that a bit. Ken Phelps, 16 strikeouts and 63 at-bats, but he has walked 20 times, so his on-base percentage is pretty good. That's a 5-2, and that's a ground ball right back to Morris. Easy play to Bergman, 1 away. And they get the lumbering Ken Phelps out of there. Here's the hound dog, Jim Presley. He had a double his first time up and scored on the triple by Quinones. 4-7, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. That's Trammell. He's a 1, so we know he's going to get to it. We're checking for the error, E21. With nobody on base, you don't need to really worry about the 1 because you know he's going to get to it. E21 and a 13. I don't like those 13s. They can be a little leery. E21, there's no 13, though. So luckily for him, no 13. It's just a good play for Alan Trammell. 2 up and 2 down. And it takes us to Alvin Davis, first baseman. Hello, midlife. 3-5, and that is a 1 for a triple. Anything else is a double. So that's a double for Alvin Davis, a 2-out double for Alvin Davis. And it's going to bring up Kingery with a chance in a clutch situation to see what he can do. He gains a hit on 111 in the clutch. So a minor clutch positive for Kingery. See if that comes into play. It will if it's a 111. It's a 1-2, however, which is a low max, but there's already 2 outs, so no chance of a double or triple play, just simply a low max to Whitaker, and that's going to end the inning. So they leave Davis at second base, come away empty-handed. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 3-1 Tigers. Mike Moore back out again, and he'll be facing number 9 hitter Brookins, followed by the top of the order, Sheridan and Whitaker. Here's Moore, 3-4 to Brookins, and that's a pop out to the shortstop Quinones, out number 1. Out number 1, 1 away. Here's Sheridan. He's 0 for 2, 6-10. Not 0 for 2 anymore. 1-7 is a home run. That's a 9. It will be a double for Pat Sheridan. A 1-out double for Sheridan. He had normal power, so had that die been a 1-7, that would have been a home run, but he missed it. It was a double. But after going 0 for 2, I think he'll take the double. 1 out for Lou Whitaker. Sweet Lou hit his 6th home run his last time up. He is singled and homered, 2 for 2, 2 runs scored, and 2 runs driven in. 6-4. This time, though, he pops it up to first, and Alvin Davis will make the play. 2 down. And that'll bring up Kirk Gibson. First base is open, but Trammell is right behind him, so they're going to go ahead and pitch to Gibson. You don't want to walk anybody in front of Alan Trammell, that's for sure. 1-4 for Gibson. He grounds it to Presley, and that's going to end the inning. So we completed 4 from Tiger Stadium, and the score is still 3-1 Tigers. Jack Morris has fatigue of 8. Mike Morris fatigue of 7. So they're both still very much have plenty of energy left. Quinones will lead it off, followed by Reynolds and Moses. Quinones had an RBI triple his first chance. 4-7, and that's a ground ball to shortstop X. And once again, that's Trammell. He's an E21. He's a 1, so you know he's going to get to it. E21 and a 15. I think that might be an error. Let me double check it here. E21. Yep, a 15 is right there on the E21. So Alan Trammell boots it. E6. E6 on Alan Trammell. Now both teams have made one error. This one on Trammell. Took his eye off it just a split second, and it cost him. And here's Harold Reynolds. He failed in the clutch first time up, not clutch this time. 4-5, switch hitter batting left-handed, fly ball to center. And that's one away, put away out there by Bean. One away, and that brings up John Moses. That's a 6-10. 6-10 against lefty. Switch hitter batting left as a catcher X. That is Noakes. He's a 4. That's not good. 4 and a 5. That's almost certainly going to be something bad. We'll check it out. 4 and a 5 is a P/P again, but Jack Morris has a very high wild pitch rating. So this is most likely going to be a pass ball. Let's see here. Noakes E1, so I don't think there's any chance of that happening. Nope, but it's going to be a P/P, which is going to be, if it's a wild, if it falls under the wild pitch rating of the pitcher. Morris is an 18, and that's a wild pitch. So, or I'm sorry, a pass ball rather. So pass ball will move Quinones to second base, takes the double play out of the equation, and puts a runner in scoring position. So Moses struck out the first 2 chances. Chance to redeem himself. 5-7. He will draw a walk. So actually now the pass ball was irrelevant because the walk would have sent him there anyway. First and second, 1 out. Phil Bradley, the batter. Bradley 0 for 1 with a walk. That's a 5-4 against Morris, and that's a strikeout. Big strikeout for Morris. That's strikeout number 4 for Mr. Morris. He has walked 2, struck out 4. And now a clutch situation for the other Bradley, Scott Bradley, and he will lose a hit on 1-9 in the clutch. So just a very faint anti-clutch on a 1-9. He is 0 for 2, has not gotten the ball out of the infield yet. 3-9, and this time he does, but it's a fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. So Jack Morris pitches around that Trammell error, and Seattle comes away empty-handed. Go to the bottom of the fifth, still 3-1. Favor of the Tigers. Due up, it'll be Trammell, Noakes, and Evans for the Tigers against Mike Moore. Trammell 0 for 1 with a walk. It's a 4-10. Catcher X again. Nobody's on base, so no worries about any kind of pass balls. He's a 4 and an 8. 4 and an 8 for a catcher. P/P once again. So it looks like it's going to be a pop-up unless there's an error involved. And he is an E9. And that's a 5. It's going to be a rare play. How about that? A PP with a rare play. Go figure. PP rare play. With runners on, the pitch gets with no runners on, the batter swings at a pitch that gets past the catcher on a 2-2 count. The batter beats the throw from the catcher to first. Credit the catcher with a pass ball and the pitcher with a batter, and the pitcher and batter with a strikeout. How about that? So it's going to be a strikeout pass ball. Now that's something I can say has been different. I don't think I've ever had that before. Strikeout plus pass ball. I'm hoping the Strat computer can handle that. On the direct entry, we'll find out. I don't know if it can or not. I'm not sure how to. Oh, here we go. Pass ball and strikeout. It sure did. Sure did. There we go. Pass ball and a strikeout. But it didn't put it gave it an out and didn't put the runner on first. So that didn't do right what it was supposed to do. So I'm going to work around this apparently. Let's try this again. I don't know how to get the runner to first base. Pass ball and a K. Oh, it would show that Trammell's out. I got to say he goes to first. That's where I was missing it. Okay. Now we got it straight. Just a direct entry problem. That's all. All right. So Trammell is aboard at first base on the. He did get a strikeout added to his total, as did Mike Moore. That strikeout number 3 for Moore, but it is a pass ball on the catcher Bradley. It's going to put Trammell at first with nobody out, and Matt Noakes the batter. Noakes 1 for 2 with a single. 3-10 for Noakes, and that's a 1 for a single. He lines to second. That's out number 1. So finally, we've got a rare play that was actually pretty rare. Instead of that piece of crap bouncing off the mound and going to the infielder like that was some sort of a rare play. Rare play my ass. That's one thing Strat is. I don't think they've ever changed it in 60 years or however long they've been around. They really need to do something with those rare plays. Or just do away with them. It's probably the best thing to do. Just get rid of them. Why keep something that's lame? 4-8, and that's a strikeout from Mike Moore. Strikeout number 4 from Mike Moore. 2 down for Dave Bergman. .610, and that's going to be an in-home run chance, 1-7. That's a 3. Bergman has normal power. It's gone. Look at it again, 6-10 against Mike Moore right here. 1-7 is a home run. That's a 3. He has normal power. Dave Bergman goes deep. So there you go, the pass ball strikeout. These runs are unearned because of that, because the inning should have been over. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Dave Bergman, a home run, 2-run shot, his first home run of the season. RBI 6 and 7. And the Tigers take a 5-1 lead. Billy Beane. 3-7 for Beane. Struck him out. It's going to end the inning. So Moore strikes out the side technically, but gives up 2 runs because of the pass ball. At the end of 5, it's Detroit 5 and Seattle 1. lot of this is not Mike Moore's fault. He should have been out of these innings on several occasions. Gave a run here, was unearned, and he 3. So out of the 5 runs, 3 are unearned. Should be a 2-1 game right now. So top of the 6th we go. Ken Phelps, DH. 1-6 for Phelps. Struck him out. Strikeout number 5 for Mr. Morris. And now he can go in cruise control with a 5-1 lead. Here's the Hound Dog. Doubled and grounded to short. 5-11. And that's a ballpark single check, but it's only a 1. So he has no chance there. And that will be a liner to short. 2 down. Trammell snags it. And here's Alvin Davis. He did double his last time up. 4-10. And that's going to be a fly ball center field X. So we're looking at Bean. He's a 3 E6. 3 and a 9 for a center fielder. Should be okay, I think. Double check it. 3 and a 9 is an F2, so he'll get to that. He's an E6. He's got to avoid 4, 3, 15, and 18. 4, 3, 15, and 18. And he does. So it's a good play for Bean. That will retire the side. 3 in a row. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Mariners. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. Still 5-1 Tigers. And Jack Morris cruising along. Looking to get even his record at 3-3. And Mike Moore looking to drop to 2-3. Unless something drastic happens. All right, coming up for the Tigers, it'll be Tom Brookins, number 9 hitter. He's 1 for 2. 6-10, and that is a 1-13 home run. He does have normal power, but that's a 20. So it's just going to be a double for Brookins. He'll have to settle with the double. And now the Seattle bullpen starting to stir. Look at their bullpen. We'll see who is the most rested and could come in to maybe give an inning or 2. Mark Huseman, he's been overworked. Stan Clark is definitely available, left-hander. So loosening up in their bullpen, and he may be coming in very shortly, is Stan Clark, a left-hander. Coming up is Sheridan, Whitaker, and Gibson, 3 lefties in a row. So that's going to be it. They're going to pull Mike Moore. Dick Williams is not messing around. He is going to pull Mike Moore and go to Stan Clark right away. So Stan Clark will come on to pitch for Mike Moore. And Mike Moore, a very rough outing. He's going to go 5+. And he's going to give up 7 hits, 5 runs, but only 2 were earned. He walked. I've got him for just the 1 walk and a hit by pitch. And he struck out 5. But he is on the losing end for sure. No question about it. All right, so Stan Clark, 0-0. He's only had 1 appearance. He's pitched 1 inning, given up 1 hit, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. So this is his 2nd appearance of the season. Lefty on lefty against Pat Sheridan. Brookins, of course, not being held at 2nd. Whoa, we got Sua dice here. Jumping bean dice. We get a 4-8 lefty on lefty, and that's a ballpark blast. And that's a 1-14. That's an 8, but he has weak power against lefties, so it's going to be a single 2 stars that will be enough to score Mr. Brookins. So now we can update the final numbers on Moore. He has now given up 6 runs, 3 earned. Now we can close the book on him. 6 runs and 3 earned in 5+ innings. Not a good outing, obviously. So Sheridan with the RBI single as he greets Stan Clark. It is now 6-1 Tigers, and that brings up Lou Whitaker, Another lefty on lefty matchup. He singled and homered, 2 for 3. That's a 1-3. It's a pop out to short. Quinones is there. 1 down. .410. Did I read 4.8 or something? Midlife? Was there a 4.10? Was that on the Sheridan at bat? You're saying it was a 4.10? So you're saying when Sheridan was batting, it was a 4.10. It should have been a walk. Is that what you're saying? Okay. All right. Well, let's change him to a walk, and I'll change it on the computer. We're going to erase this pop to short. Thank you for catching that. So we're going to erase the pop to short because that never happened yet. Actually, it did happen. That has no effect on what happens. So this pop to short will actually stand. Take that back. It will stand. So Whitaker does pop to short, but on the computer, I'm going to have to go in and undo the base hit, change it to a walk. Good thing the Strat-O-Matic computer has the undo button. So it is a walk, puts runners at first and second, and then Whitaker pops out to short for the first out, infield fly rule. So now 1 out and runners at first and second. It's still a 5-1 game. That 6th run is not on the board right yet. I'm leaving this here because he's going to probably score anyway, and I'll change it if he doesn't. Here's Gibson, another lefty on lefty. That's a 3-3 for Gibson against the lefty. It's a ground ball to second A with a plus, but infield was not in. It's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. So Kirk Gibson's had a rough first game back, but he grounds into a double play. And now I will have to correct what I had on there before for Mike Moore, because the original part I had was right, 5 and 2. We gave him 5 runs, 2 earned. So 5 runs, 2 earned is the final line on Mike Moore. So we go to the 7th inning. It is 5-1 Tigers. And thank you again, Midlife, for fixing that for me. Did I read 1? You know what? It was a 3-3. You are so right. How am I missing these cards? I think my mind is going blank or something here. Hold on, folks. Let's fix that. It was not a double play. Good thing Midlife's here. I'd be screwed. It is not a double play. 3-3 on Gibson is actually going to be a hit by pitch right here. And that's an ejection for Stan Clark, because we had said earlier, after the hit by pitch of Gibson, he is hit for the 2nd time. So his first game back, he gets hit twice. Go figure. He got hit twice. It's going to load the bases. That is a huge change, absolutely. But Clark has to go because he just got ejected. So now I'm going to go back in the Strat computer, take that double play out of there, and rebuild these last couple of at-bats, which is not hard to do. Gibson hit by the pitch, loads the bases, and now Clark is going to come out, and the Mariners will have to go to another pitcher, and they will go to, well, he's the most rested, so they're going to go to eastbound and down Jerry Reed. He's going to try to do what they say can't be done, and let's get out of this mess. Jerry Reed. Clark didn't even make it through the inning. Clark faces 3 batters. Doesn't give up any hits, but he walks 1 and hits 1, so definitely had control problems. He did get 1. He did record 1 out. No hits, no strikeouts. But 2 of these runs are his responsibility. So now Trammell. So now if Brookins scores again, I'll go back and fix this once again. It's just a mess. So Trammell will be facing Jerry Reed. On the replay, Reed is 1-1 with 2 saves, 6.75 earned run average, 17 innings pitched, 19 hits, 4 walks, and 12 strikeouts. All right, so bases are loaded. Infield looking for the double play on Trammell. Reed to Trammell. Whoop, that didn't go through. Let's redo that again. There we go. 4-6. 4-6. That's trouble for Jerry Reed. 1-6 is a double. That's a 4. It'll be a double. So Brookins will end up scoring after all. So will Sheridan. Gibson will go to third on the RBI 2-run double, rather, from Alan Trammell. And now we refix this again, 6-3, back to the way I had it on the first correction, 6-3 there. So it's a double, 2 stars. 2-run double makes it 7-1 now in favor of. Oops, wait a minute. What am I doing? I was thinking it was in the top of the 7th. So I got to take this 0 off the board here for Detroit as well, because they could score more. You never know. Trammell with the double brings up Matt Noakes, second and third. Infield is in. Only 1 out. That's a 1-9, and that's a walk, and that's going to load the bases. So Noakes with the 110 would have been a home run, or at least a home run chance. But it's going to load the bases once again for Darrell Evans. Reed now with the infield looking for that double play. 5-7, and that's a ground ball, second base X. That's Harold Reynolds. Can he learn from baseball tonight? He's a 2E21. 2 and a 7. Don't know if that's going to be a double play worthy or not. 2 and a 7 is only a G2, so they can only get a force play. The run's going to score. E21, 4-13 and 17. So the run's going to score. It's a 4-6. I'm sorry, it's a 4. I'm sorry, second and third. Infield was back. So it's a G2, which means it's just a play to first. Or did I have that right? Hold on. No, the bases were loaded. You're right. 4-6. Fielders. I was thinking second and third, but it's fielder's choice. Scoring is Gibson. That run is charged to Clark. Now we can close the book on Clark. He gave up the 2 runs. It is now 8-1, our score. Two outs now for Dave Bergman. And Bergman homered his last time up. Not the cleanest game in the world, but hopefully this won't get out of hand. I don't want another 10-run inning. 3-11 for Bergman, and that is a clutch single, anti-clutch single. And with the runner at third, that turns into a clutch situation, so that single will go away, and it will turn to a pop to second to end the inning. 3 runs come in for the Tigers here in the 6th. We've completed 6 with the score now. Detroit 7 and Seattle 1. And Jack Morris in complete control of this ball game. Don't know. I'm assuming Jerry Reed will come out and pitch the 7th as well. Morris has 8 for fatigue, so he's still good to go. And he'll be facing Kingery, Quinones, and Reynolds. That's a 2-5 for Kingery. That's a ground ball to first. Bergman is there, 1 away. 1 down, and that will send up Quinones. He is tripled and reached on an error. 1-10, fly ball to center, and that's Bean. 2 down. For Mr. Reynolds. Reynolds is 0 for 2. It's 5-6. Switch hitter batting left is a ground ball shortstop X. That's Trammell. He's a 1, so we know he's going to get to it. He needs to avoid that 15. That's a 6, so I do believe that's going to be just fine. E21, nope, it's not going to be just fine. Alan Trammell just booted it again. He's an E21. He found a 15 last time. He finds a 6 this time. So Alan Trammell boots it again and keeps the inning going. Not sure what's going on with Trammell, why he's booting these balls. But Reynolds will take first base with 2 outs, and here's John Moses. That is a 3-7 for Moses, and he struck him out. So Morris gets the strikeout, his 6th, to end the inning. Nothing doing for the Mariners. Jack Morris cruising, leading 7-1. And Jerry Reed, I guess, is going to come out and try to eat another inning for Seattle. Bean, Brookins, and Sheridan are your scheduled hitters. And we go to the bottom of the 7th, which means it is 7th inning stretch time. I'm going to take a stretch with everybody, and you can enjoy Take Me Out to the Ball Game. All right, 7th inning stretch is in the books, and we are ready to get going again. And while we're at the 7th inning stretch, we'll look forward to our next game on the schedule, which will be game number 173. It'll be from Kansas City. It'll be the Toronto Blue Jays against the Kansas City Royals, left-hander Charlie Leibrandt against right-hander Joe Johnson. That will be the next game in the Strat-O-Matic replay. So Billy Bean will lead off here in the bottom of the 7th. Jerry Reed's going to hang in there and try to pitch one more inning. 6-6 left-handed, and that is a fly to center. Hauled in out there by Moses. One away. 8-1 Tigers, bottom of the 7th. Unfortunately, another blowout of a game. I had a couple of blowouts here lately. I'm looking for a close game if I can find one, but with this 87 American League, just doesn't want to give it to me sometimes. Here's Brookins. 2-4, and that's going to be a liner to third. And that is out number 2. As Presley puts it away. 2 down, and that will bring up Pat Sheridan. 5-9, and that's a fly to center. So Jerry Reed goes 1-2-3 in the 7th, and he may be able to come out for the 8th and try to save the bullpen for the rest of the series and try to eat these innings. Jack Morris, this will be his fatigue inning, number 8. This is the fatigue inning for Mr. Morris, inning number 8, and he'll be facing the 2 Bradleys and Ken Phelps. 8-1, top of the 8th. That's a 5-5, and that is a strikeout. Strikeout number 7 for Mr. Morris. One away, and here comes Scott Bradley. He's 0 for 3. That's a 6-6, and that's going to be a 1-4 triple. That's a 17, so it will be a single for Scott Bradley. And that's the first hit for the Mariners since the 4th inning. Brings up Ken Phelps. He's 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. 5-5, and that's going to be a split chance. 1-3 is a single. That's a 13. He will line it to second. Out number 2 as Whitaker snags it. 2 down, and that's going to bring up the hound dog, Jim Presley. Presley. That's a 6-9 for Morris, and that's a strikeout. There's a dot there, but he's not tired yet, so the strikeout is good. Strikeout number 8, and it's going to end the inning. Down go the Mariners here in the 8th. Go to the bottom of the 8th, still 8-1. Reed will come out and face Whitaker, Gibson, and Trammell. Two for Whitaker, and that's a straight-up home run, folks. There you go, 2-2, as Mr. Guterman would say, clean as a baby's ass right here. 2-2, straight up in bold print, home run. No question about it. Hopefully midlife I read this one correctly. Home run, Lou Whitaker. And Whitaker, that's his 7th home run, his 2nd of the game. 2nd home run of the game for Whitaker. 7 on the season. And RBI number 20 for Mr. Whitaker. It is now 9-1. But I believe Dick Williams has told Jerry Reed, you're in it for the long haul, buddy. 6-9, and he pops him up to second. 1 away. So Gibson definitely not faring too well. Here's Trammell. His teammates have picked him up, so it doesn't matter. 6-2 is a ground ball shortstop X. That is Quinones. He's a 3, E31. 3 and a 17, he'll get to it. E31. On E31, he's got to, that's a 6. Let's see if he can avoid anything. He cannot. E31 and a 6 is sitting right there in the middle under an E1. So it's a 1-base error on Quinones. That's the 3rd error on shortstops in this game. Trammell has had 2, and now Mr. Quinones has 1. 4th error of the game, 2 for each team. And Trammell is aboard. Here's Matt Noakes. Can't blame Jerry Reed on that one. Noakes. 4-11, and that's a fly ball left field X. That's Mr. Bradley. He's a 2E5. 2 and a 6 should be okay. I believe he'll get to that. He will in F2. And he is an E5. So he has to avoid 4, 14, and 18. Which he does. So it's good play for Bradley. Out number 2. And that'll send up Darrell Evans, the designated hitter. 4-7, and that's a single to right field. Trammell can run. He's a 14 with 2 outs. He's a 16. Being held was a 15. Right fielder arm. Kingery's a -2, makes it a 13, but going from third to first to third on right field, make it back to a 15. They're going to extend him 1-15. And he's out trying to go to third. So he got greedy. Trammell got greedy, and Kingery threw him out. Dolly Parton style, 9-5 to end the inning. And maybe that's the only way that Jerry Reed was going to get out of the inning, was to get help defensively, and he did. Nice throw by Kingery as they nail Trammell trying to take third. And we go to the bottom of the ninth, or top of the ninth, rather. 9-1 Tigers. Morris looking to finish what he started. Only has one notch against his point of weakness. We'll do Jerry Reed's final numbers at the end of the game. It'll be Alvin Davis. It'll be Alvin Davis, Mike Kingery, and Ray Quinones. That's a 2-7, and that is a fly to center. One away, so Jack Morris, 2 outs away from a complete game, finishing what he started and improving to 3-3. Kingery, who just made that nice throw, is stepping to the plate. He is 0 for 3. Get a 5-7, and that's a walk. So a walk issued by Morris. And that'll send up Quinones, the shortstop. Morris, that's his 3rd walk. He struck out 8, walked 3. Quinones against Morris. 6-8 from Morris. And that's going to be another walk. That's the 4th walk. So it could be Morris has run out of gas. And Harold Reynolds is due up, and they're going to go ahead and let him hit. He is a switch hitter. They really don't have that much on the bench anyway. 1-6 for Reynolds. Split chance 1-8's a single. That's a 17. He lines it to second. Out number 2. So 1 out away from the complete game, and a bad fielding play by Sheridan cost him potentially a shutout. Here's Moses. That's a 3-7 from Moses. Struck him out, and what a way to end the ball game. He ends it in style with a strikeout. 9 strikeouts for Jack Morris. He finishes what he started, and the Tigers cruise to a 9-1 victory. 4 hits for the Mariners, 10 for the Tigers. And we'll go to the box score and get all the pertinent details to finish this game out. First of all, with the victory, Detroit improves to 12-13, so they're almost back to that 500 mark. Seattle mired now at 9-18. Winning pitcher Jack Morris improves to 3-3, lowers his ERA to 3.66. He goes 9 innings, gives up 4 hits and a run, which was earned. 4 walks and 9 strikeouts. He gets the win. Jerry Reed in relief went 2 2/3. And he gives up 3 hits and a run. Walking 1, not striking out anybody. Mike Moore takes the loss, drops to 2-3. His ERA increases to 2.86 because 3 of those runs were unearned. And player of the game, you got your choice. You can give it to Jack Morris for his complete game, or you can give it to Lou Whitaker for the 3 for 5 performance with 2 home runs. I'm kind of leaning to Lou Whitaker myself because the way Seattle hits, they're not very good. Morris took advantage of a weak hitting team to get his win. But to me, the guy who was the star of the game is Lou Whitaker. That's my star of the game, despite Jack Morris pitching a complete game. Whitaker had the 2 home runs number 6 and number 7. And he also drove in 3. He's up to 20 runs batted in. Both teams left 9 on base. And there you have it. Tigers with the 9-1 victory over Seattle. And as we go to our standings board, we can update the messy standing board, I should say. Tigers now are 6 games back, 6 games even, as they improve now to 12-13. Not a very good 2 there, but this fat thing here doesn't write very well. Brewers and Yankees are 18-7. You can tell that you don't need it to be neat. You got the information. That's all that's needed. They're tied 18-7. Toronto's 3 back at 14-9. Detroit now is 6 back at 12-13. Seattle, poor Seattle, drops to 9-18. They are now 9 games back. So they are 9-18, a full 9 games behind the Oakland A's. So those are the updated standings. Up to the minute. You can see where we're at. And again, next game will be Kansas City and Toronto. I am thinking about doing, hello, alternate. Didn't see you come in there. I would like to do something besides this, the Strat-O-Matic, just something a little bit on the side, just to give it a little variety. So I'm contemplating doing something with the 1977 National League, just the National League, because I want to play with the pitchers hitting, and that's the one downside to this league is the pitchers don't hit, and I prefer non-DH games. So I'm thinking about doing something with the 1977 National League, either with Strat-O-Matic or with inside pitch. So I'm contemplating doing something with inside pitch 1977, just to have something different to do once in a while. Aside from this, the History Maker Reds thing is not really, people don't really want to see that, so I'm kind of just putting that on the back burner. If I bring it back, it'll be offline just on my own, because it's not something people want to see, and I don't want to keep putting something out that people don't want to see. So we'll figure out what we want to do with that, but and I may do something with that tomorrow afternoon. I haven't decided yet what I might want to do. Could do it in Strat-O-Matic, could do it in inside pitch. The advantage of inside pitch is you get all the players, so I don't have to worry about trying to print out any players from the computer. So I'm possibly thinking about doing something like that. If I did, it would be all version 3. I'm not messing with version 4 of inside pitch whatsoever. I think most of what that is crap, and I'm sticking with version 3. And that's the way I like it, is version 3. It was a good game. They don't need to fix it. Hey, Triple G, good to see you. So I'm thinking about doing, it would be an awful lot to try to do the National League replay all the way through like I'm doing the American League. That would be an awful tight task with trying to do both of these. I may try to do a single team replay. I may do a game of the day replay and just have the Strat-O-Matic computer sim the rest. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. I have to see what, how I feel about that, what I want to do. But I do want to do something different. The season ticket one on Saturday, that's just a one-off every Saturday, so that doesn't really do anything for me during the week. So I'm thinking, I haven't done inside pitch in a while, since I did the 1967 pennant chase and the 1993 thing with where I switched from replay baseball to inside pitch. But that's been a minute since I've done that. So thinking about doing something with either 77 or 79, but I'm leaning more towards 77 National League. Triple G says game of the day. I may do that, Triple G. I may do that and just have either the Strat computer or Digital Diamond or something sim the rest. I'm not doing fast score. That ain't happening. I'm not doing fast score. That's too much work to do that. I'll leave that to the professionals like RJL. He does one thing at a time. He doesn't have 3 things going on at one time, so he can focus and spend more time on that. But I want to be as efficient as possible. So I like to have the computer help me whenever it's possible. So I'm thinking about using the Strat computer to just sim the games that aren't played, and pick a game of the day in the National League to play. Way back in the day, I did a White Sox replay on Strat-O-Matic 1977, where I played every game. But I also started playing about the first 15 games of the Cubs that same season, but I don't really want to, that's so far old, I really don't want to go back to that. So I'm thinking about just doing maybe a one-off or a game of the day, like I say, and just pick a different game each day in the schedule, and maybe play a game of the day, that kind of thing. I'll kind of have to play it by ear and see how I want to do that. But trying to play every single game is going to be really, really bad. Triple G, what you missed? Well, you missed Lou Whitaker hitting 2 home runs, and you missed Jack Morris pitching a complete game. And you missed Kirk Gibson's first game back, or we got hit by a pitch twice. And we had our very first strikeout plus pass ball where the runner reached base on a pass ball on a strikeout on a rare play. That was a first for me as well. So I'll have to figure it out, see how much time I want to devote to doing this, because I don't want to get heavy into something else and then have this get affected. I want to keep this on a steady pace. So I'm just looking for a change of pace, and that's why I'm thinking something along the lines of a game of the day in the National League 1977. Or if I want to use a different season, maybe I'll do a different season. I don't know. I might pick something besides 77. Like I said, I've got 79. I can do that in the National League. Um, I've got 90. Well, I already did 93, so I really don't want to do that. I've already done 75. RJL has already done 76. I've already done 69. So 77 is kind of my best bet as far as I can tell on inside pitch. I think 77 is going to be the best bet for me. Either 77 or 79. It'll have to be one of those two, because that's the only two I have that I haven't done yet, or that RJL hasn't done yet. So if I do that, it'll be either 77 or 79. It will most likely be a game of the day. I'll go through the schedule, pick what I think would be the most interesting game of the day, try to show all the teams at least once, and or at least early on, maybe show each team twice, depending on how the matchups and whatnot. If there's a good pitching matchup, I mean, show the Atlanta Braves were terrible, but when Phil Niekro pitches, it might be worth watching. The Padres were terrible, but when Randy Jones pitches, maybe it's worth showing that game. Things like that. So Mets weren't good, but if Tom Seaver's pitching, that's a good time to show them. So I'll have to wait and see. I'm just throwing out little ideas and trying to get it straight. I've already done a full season replay in inside pitch for the 2019 Washington Nationals. So I've already done that to check the accuracy of the game, which if you go back and watch the videos on my playlist under that, you'll see the end of season video that I did showing the stats, and they came out pretty well, I would say. So I am confident that under version 3, that inside pitch is a very realistic game and it gives realistic results. The only thing about 79 I'm leery about doing, because I really, at one point, maybe at some point, I might do a Pittsburgh Pirates replay in 79. And so I might save that for that and do 77 for the game of the day kind of thing. That's where I'm leaning mostly, is to that. Could do 82, but I've already done NBC Game of the Week on 82. So like I said, a lot of these things I've already done. I could do 84. I don't think I've done anything in 84 yet, but that's kind of close to 87. So I was trying to get back to something in the 70s, and that's why 77 keeps popping up in my head. So we will see. All right, so that's going to do it from here. I do appreciate you guys spending part of your Wednesday night with me. Hopefully, I'm trying to sound better. I'm taking this decongestant medicine, and I haven't sneezed all day, and my nose hasn't run all day, but my voice still has that congested sound, and I can't get rid of that just yet. Maybe by the weekend I will. I don't know. Speaking of the weekend, on Saturday, the season ticket NBC Game of the Week for 1978 is the Cincinnati Reds at the New York Mets in Shea Stadium. So I know RJL will be all excited about his Mets. So anyway, that's going to do it from here. Hope you all have a wonderful Wednesday evening. I am off tomorrow, so I will probably do something tomorrow around lunchtime, and it would be an inside pitch. So I think I'm going to pick a game of the day on inside pitch in the National League. I've already played the Houston-Cincinnati game on a one-off, so I don't really want to do that one. So I may skip that one and go to a different one on opening day. I haven't decided yet. I'll have to look at the schedule. Kind of leaning towards Montreal and Philadelphia. Steve Rogers against Steve Carlton. That's my leaning. So I'm thinking about playing that one tomorrow at noon. If I do the game of the day thing, that would be the game I would pick in the National League, would be that game. Or it could be the Cardinals and the Pirates. There's another good matchup that could be done as well. So it'll be one of those two games. I've got to figure out which one I want to do and get the cards all lined up and all that good stuff. And figure out how I want to present it. Do I want to present it on a score sheet? Do I want to bring out the board like RJL does? I'm thinking just straight out score sheet, put the cards on the score sheet, no base running tokens, just straight out monologue or whatever they call it, whatever Replay Gamer called it at that time, monologue or whatever, just pure, you know, pure steak and no sizzle kind of thing. So I'll leave the sizzle to RJL and other channels as well that like to spiffy things up. So I'll save the spiffy for season ticket baseball on Saturdays. So I'll probably just have the score sheet here and have the cards right there and just kind of keep it as basic as possible. That's what I'll probably do. But anyway, I've got some time to think about it and figure out how I want to handle that, how I want to do it. But for this replay, the next game is Kansas City and Toronto. That'll be tomorrow night, roughly around 8:30. It'll be Charlie Leibrandt for the Royals, and he'll be taking on Joe Johnson of the Blue Jays. So let's go do it from here. Hope you all have a wonderful Wednesday evening, and enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And as usual, I will see you all down the road.